Hey students, welcome back. Today we're going to get into angles now. So the first thing we're going to do is I want you to, based on this diagram, find the measurement of all 8 of these angles. So if we just do the first one together, this is angle AOB. So we start at A, we go to O, and then we go up to B. And we're going from 0, and since we're starting at this, we're going to start at this 0. We're going up 10, 20, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this first one is 35 degrees. So pause that video and try to find out the angle measurement of all of these angles. Alright, so here's what I got for my answers. Just important thing to note is if we're going BOC, you can just count by 5s up here. So we're going from, or you can say we're going from 35 to 65. So I actually just kind of went 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So it's just what's between those. Next up, we're just going to study what is an angle. So, throwing this around. If we're looking at this angle here, an angle is a set of points consisting of 2 different rays. So a ray starts here and points in that direction infinitely that have the same end point called the vertex. The rays are the sides of the angle. What is the vertex of that angle? Well, the vertex is this point A. And give 2 different names for the angle. So one name could be angle CAB, CAB, or angle BAC. 2 different names for it. All right, so here's an example of how we can use these angles and our math. So a lighthouse keeper measures the angles formed by the lighthouse at point M and 3 different boats out on that water. Name the angles shown in the diagram. So if I want this smaller angle here, we would call that JMK. Angle JMK. There's another small angle here, LMK. And then we can also say the large angle, both of those angles combined, this whole part right here. So LMJ would be the large angle. So those are the 3 different angles. And we're going to apply some algebra to this now. So the lighthouse keeper knows that angle JML is 35 degrees. So JML, this whole is 35. JMK is 2x. Let me write this a little bigger here. This angle here is 2x plus 3, and angle LMK is 3x plus 2. So it says use this information to find the measurement of LMK. We want to know what is that angle measure. Well, we know those 2 add up to 35. So we're going to say 2x plus 3 plus 3x plus 2 equals 35. And we're going to solve this equation. So we're first going to combine our like terms. 2x and 3x makes 5x. 3 and 2 make 5. Subtract 5 to both sides. 5x equals 30. And we're going to divide by 5. So you get x equals 6. Now that's great, but we still need to finish this problem. So we're going to put 6 in for x there. So we're going to have 3 times 6 plus 2. 18 plus 2 gives us 20 degrees. So we just use our knowledge that the 2 smaller ones add up to that bigger one, which is 35. So solve for x in each diagram. So we're just going to start with this top one And I'm going to help you get started, and then I want you to actually solve each one on your own. Move this down just, it's stuck together. All right, let's start with this top one. So to start this top one, these two make, it's called a linear angle. It makes a straight line. So how many degrees is a straight line? If you just go one half turn, kind of. 180. So we know that 10x minus 5 plus 4x plus 3 equals 180. Those two have to add to 180 degrees. Now this mark here means it's how many degrees? So right angle, so 90. So we have 2x plus 2 plus x plus 1 equals 90. We know they add to 90 degrees. And then down here it tells us LKN, the big angle, is 145. So we're going to say 2x plus 10 plus 4x minus 3 equals 145. So that's how we start those. I want you to pause the video and solve those on your own. So here's what I got for my answers. I got 13 for the first, 29 for the second, and 23 for the third. Check your answers and your work with mine. So we have these two types of angles, and we kind of studied them on the last slide. We're just going to give them formal names. And what it is here we have examples of complementary angles. So these two angles are complementary. These are complementary. That's our big word here. And over here we have two pairs of supplementary angles. So what makes a pair of angles complementary? What makes a pair of angles supplementary? Take 1 second to pause the video and think about that and try to get your own answer. So what we have here is complementary means the two angles add to 90. The way I remember that is complementary is crooked. See how it's like a 90-degree angle kind of there? I think of it complementary crooked. And supplementary means they add to 180. I think of supplementary as a straight line. Supplementary straight, complementary crooked. So that's our two big vocab words there. So let's say we have two angles, A and B. These two angles are supplementary. Supplementary means straight adds to 180. If the measurement of angle A is 125, what's the measurement of angle B? Well, we're just going to do 180 minus 125, and we get 55 degrees. Angles C and D are complementary. If the measurement of angle C is 65 degrees, what is the measure of angle D? Well, complementary means they add to 90, so we'll do 90 minus 65 gets us 25 degrees. And then it says, are angles D and B complementary? Why or why not? So if we take angle B and angle D, does 55 plus 25, does that add to 90? Are they complementary? And the answer is no, they actually add to 80 instead. So I want you to try to set up this equations on your own for these two diagrams and see if you can solve them. So pause the video, try to set up two equations and solve them, and then unpause and check your work when you're ready. All right, so I got my answers in work. Both of them happen to be 3. So check your work with mine if you got it wrong. Otherwise, let's move on. So we have another vocabulary word to study here with our geometry. And that word is bisect. So what it says is angle XYZ is bisected by YW. What do you think bisect means? So our big angle XYZ is bisected by YW. What do you think bisected means? So bi, I think of like, you can get some words, bicycle, right? Bifocals. Biped means you walk on 2 feet. This bi means 2, and sect means like parts or sections. So bisect means it cuts it into 2 sections, and those sections are even. So 2 even angles right there. So if the measurement of angle XYW equals 30, so if XYW is 30 degrees, what is the measurement of ZYW? Well, if they're even parts, we know that that also would be 30 degrees. So let's use that knowledge now. So, angle ABC, the big angle, is bisected by BD. Colin is trying to find the measurement of angle ABD, and he set up the following equation. 6x plus 14 equals 3x plus 29. How did he know he could do this? What do you think? Well, that bisect tells us these 2 angles are going to be equal. So he can set them equal to each other. So we're going to solve this equation here. So let's scroll down just a bit. We're going to solve that equation. So 6x plus 14 equals 3x plus 29. And we're going to subtract 3x to both sides. We're going to subtract 14. 3x equals 15. Divide by 3. So we get an answer of x equals 5. So we're solving that equation. But wait a minute, Colin said, I still didn't solve for angle ABD. Help Colin solve the equation by substituting your answer in for x in that angle. So let's do that. So we're going to take x equals 5, and we're going to substitute it in for that angle, which was 6x plus 14. Let me just make sure. Yeah, so that angle there is 6x plus 14. So we're going to put in 5 for x. So 6 times 5 plus 14. 30 plus 14 gives us an answer of 44 degrees. Nice. Well, looks like that was all we did today. All right, thanks for joining us this week. Get your homework done, and I will see you next week where we're doing parallel lines, and then we also have our Unit 6 test.